right, everyone. Welcome back to Honest Hour. This is season 3, and today I have two special guests. They were both on season 1. One of them here is a radio personality. She produces her radio show as well as manages artists and is one of the biggest hip-hop historians I know. And the other one also is a DJ out of this world. He DJ'd my wedding. You know, he definitely is a hip-hop historian himself. He mixes it up. Great vibe. They are both now on In the Field Radio. Welcome back to the show, Erin Boogie and Rapz. How y'all doing today?
I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate you coming on.
Good, man. That was a hell of an intro right there, man. I appreciate that.
No doubt, no doubt. So you guys were both on the show in season 1. So as you know, season 2, some things, I changed some things, and now we're into season 3. So first question I'm gonna ask you is the most important question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how is your mental health today?
11.
11. Wow. I'm with it.
We at like a 7.3 right now. It's like a 7.3 type of day.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could say, what would it take, Rapz, to get that 7.3 to a 10?
I don't know, man. Maybe more laughs, man. Just, you know what I mean? Doing my thing.
All right, well, we're gonna vibe out for sure. We're vibe out for sure. So both of you were very busy. B&B, booked and busy. That's the way to be. So, being both of you have been on the show before, I want to start with In the Field Radio. First thing I want to say is congratulations to all the success you've had, as well as being nominated for Best Podcast.
Thank you.
But the first question does go to Rapz.
Man.
Rapz, how did you get involved with In the Field Radio?
I mean, honestly, kind of like how you were just mentioning here with your platform, like I went to In the Field, I think it was like top of 2020, right? 2020? Yeah. And we interviewed there for Rappy Hour, went there, came through, got the interview. Like, it was dope experience. We were just chilling, chopping it up about music, even off the air, stuff like that.
Right.
And then everything kind of shut down, obviously, you know, where they were doing the show is shut down. You're not coming in, you know. Then we get into, like, I guess, you know, they were doing, like, a lot of, like, pre-recorded stuff. And,
right.
You know, we just spoke about, like, maybe I could do some mixes for the show.
Okay.
Like, we always stayed in contact, but, like, you know, that's kind of how we, like, reapproached it. I'm like, yo, let me know. I can make some little mixes or whatever.
Absolutely.
And she was like, well, you know, I got another seat on it. Like,
Oh.
I'm like, listen, you know, obviously it didn't happen like, all right, cool, we doing it tomorrow. But, like,
right.
within, I don't know, 8 weeks of us talking, I'd say realistically, it was like, all right, we're doing it.
Man, so you really was able to it was just a conversation.
Yeah.
So what was it about In the Field Radio that made you gravitate towards it to want to become a part of it?
I mean, just kind of like what Erin already knows, what she's involved in, what she's got going on, you know, and she's a hip hop head as well. Like, it's one thing to know the headlines. It's another thing to know the topic
she's
at
about
hand,
that.
for real.
Like, legit.
Yeah.
She's about that.
So, you know, just what she could bring and what I could bring. And I'm like, yeah, that got to be put together.
So, Erin, why did you feel it was time for another host?
I felt like the show was missing something, and I felt like I needed someone else that I could soundboard against, that I need, you know, someone that I could go back and forth with, that I could have a conversation with, that would bring the energy to the show, that could reinvigorate it, that it was time for a change. And it was kind of a big decision to bring a male voice onto the show because the show had been completely female for a long time. I started the show in 2019.
Oh, right,
so it was not something that I took lightly to change the dynamic of the show, but Rapz was the only person that I had in mind to bring on as a co-host ever. Like when I thought, okay, who am I going to bring on the show? He was the only name that I ever thought of. So it was never a debate for me about anybody else. I felt that, so Rappy Hour.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just looked up. He was like, well, damn.
Yeah, no, and that's a fact. So Rappy Hour had come on, because I do want to give this backstory because I think it's really cool. It's a full circle moment. Rappy Hour was the last interview that we had in station before it shut down for COVID in March of 2020.
Oh, wow.
And they were the first event that we went to when things opened back up, when they threw their event down here in Newburgh. So then when I thought, okay, it's time for me to bring somebody back on the show, Rapz was the first person that I had immediately thought of. And I toyed with the idea and never said a word to him. And he hit me up and was like, yo, what do you think about me maybe being a DJ on the show and providing mixes? And I was like, man, this is kind of divine timing because I was thinking about you as a host on the show. Like, what do you think about coming on the show?
Stars were kind of aligning themselves.
I felt like it was, something from beyond telling me, like, this is the right direction. A lot of things were aligning in a lot of areas at the time. So I listened. And so here we are. And, it's definitely working and we're moving in the right direction. So.
Wow. That's crazy. Like, you can't even make that kind of stuff up.
Full circle.
It just came full circle on its own.
Well, I felt like he had an important voice in media, and it had been dormant for quite some time, and it was the time to come back out.
It was time. You were ready. So, why, you kind of said it, but why did you decide, like, to choose Rapz? Like you said, it was no one else. There was no one else. There was no one else. But there's what's the reason behind that? Was it, what was it that you knew he'd be the right fit?
His personality. He brings the energy all the time. His taste in music, it's eclectic. I felt like it was the right time for the show to add another personality. And like I said, I felt like his voice in media was something that was missing from the area, and I knew that he would reinvigorate life into the show. And I knew that the show had a missing ingredient. You know what I mean? I knew it. So, and I'm not one of those people that, like, I know when something's missing, and I'm not just gonna be like, oh well, I can just gloss over this and just ignore it and keep going and pretend like things aren't stale. And you know what I mean? I could see it happening. So I knew
the show needed a facelift.
I knew it needed something. Something had to change.
Right.
So it was either fold the show or make some changes. And so I had to, dig down personally and say, do I want to keep doing this? Is this something that I want to keep doing? And I had spoken to a couple people that I really trust, and they told me in a forceful manner that folding the show was not something that was an option for me. That it was something that I had to keep doing. So, okay, that's not an option. Now we need to make the change. What's the change? And I really wanted to bring Rapz on board. So, and like I said, it just kind of lined up in a divine timing kind of way.
But what's wild is you guys were thinking about it at the same time.
Yes.
Yes. Like how it just put itself together. It wasn't like, yo, and then, you guys kind of hit each other with questions. About
it wasn't forced.
No, and that's good as well. So, what did you feel specifically he would bring to the show that it needed in order to get it to where you felt it needed to go?
Personality, energy, the right music. I knew that he would bring artists that I didn't know to the show, so I felt he was important for music discovery. I thought there was a lot of things that he would bring to the show that it needed. And
so, and this question's for both of you. The trickiest thing is when you have, when you go from doing it alone or you go without having a co-host for a long time. How have you guys figured out collectively or began to figure out your dynamic? What trials and errors have you encountered already? Because, it takes time to get it right. You know what I mean?
I think we're still in that era. It's still kind of new, so we're still trying to, kind of figure out what the dynamic is, and it's a learning curve, and that's okay. But the show kind of already had its format, and he kind of came in seamlessly and worked his way into it. I kind of let him do his thing with the music, right? Like I send you stuff, and if it works its way into the mix, it works its way into the mix. It has to fit. It has to make sense. If he doesn't like it, I don't I don't question it.
Right.
It is what it is. You know, we've kind of tightened our belt as far as exclusivity, as far as coming on the show with interviews, with music, that sort of thing. It's not just like, oh, you send music in and you're going to get played or you're going to get an interview.
Absolutely.
It has to make sense. When I was doing it by myself, it was also kind of in a period where I was not in the mental health space in a good place. And it was kind of just like I was going through the motions. And so it was like, cool, if you sent me something, now I have something that I can plug in.
Absolutely.
I wasn't really out there trying to find music and trying to stay current. So it was a little bit of a different era for in the field radio. And I'm not going to say that the product was the best. And that era, that chapter has closed, thankfully, and we're in a different era.
Absolutely.
And he's helped with that tremendously. So now I'm going to let him speak to...
Go ahead.
She been going off right now. I'm like, okay.
Spitting some bars here.
Yeah. All of this is clippable.
Whole clippable episode.
Yeah. What was the question, though?
He got so lost in it. I did too, bro. Oh, man. Hold on. I forgot.
The dynamic, the trial.
Oh,
Yes,
the dynamic. I mean,
that one, see, that was an on the fly question. Wasn't on the list.
So like the dynamic, we're definitely still getting it, you know, together, learning each other. But like, you know, on a personal level, we're just cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And we don't make it like, well, we gotta always tap in 10 times a week to talk about what we're gonna do. Like, is you know what I mean? Like, you got what you got going on. Where you doing other things in music, I'm doing the same. So like, we'll meet when it's time to put our things together, and
Absolutely.
it's like stress free like that. Honestly, you know. I mean, I think it's a different lane for me, like messing with radio, because there's certain things that I can talk about, can't talk about, how
Gotta
I
be
could
careful.
express myself. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is. It's part of being a part of something new. Is you got to learn something new. So,
Right.
you know, I think that probably is more so the bigger thing for me than you know.
She's used to it. You
Yeah.
got to realize what you can't say, what you can say, what you shouldn't say, because it's all in real time.
Yeah, and then
Like-
you know, then it's more stuff that's like got to get like bleeped.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like this. Like, you can edit this and be like, yeah, this messed up. That shouldn't have been said. Like, take that out. You know, and no one will ever know. But with that, it's, you drop the F-bomb. The F-bomb. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's being heard, that's for sure. Oh, man. Talk to me about the process of the show and setting up. And what I mean when I say that is, you know, you talk about what you did behind the scenes, but when you get to the station, you're in the room, you're testing the equipment. What are some of the things you guys do to set up to make sure the show goes smooth and without a hitch?
I'm starting to learn now.
Or as smooth.
Yeah. I think we're starting to learn now that we actually, like, not to make it sound like, yo, this is strictly business, but like, I've been noticing, like, we can't talk when we first see each other. Like, let's sit down, unpack our stuff, but like, honestly, it's like, I've been learning that like we got to be live and you know, hitting that record like the moment we both sit down, because we're gonna get to talking about things that we saw, like it's regular like water cooler talk, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it's like this is all what's supposed to be on the show. So
Oh, so you're saying, from your perspective, you're saying that if you talk beforehand, you feel like it kind of can water down what the show is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just get in there, you do your thing, she does hers, I got you. What about you?
It always happens that way. The pre-production talk is what ends up being what should have been said on the show. So we've learned that instead of pre-production, just go live. Like, just keep it for what's on the show.
Which is why you said when we were in pre-production, I don't want to say too much.
Like, keep it.
You've learned.
Keep it away from the topics that should be on the show. But as far as the equipment, the station handles all of that. So it's kind of just like, you know, when we're ready to go live, you just press the buttons and that's what it is. So as far as that, we don't really have to deal with any of that. And so we're blessed in that aspect.
Absolutely. You have someone that handles all the technical stuff for you. You know, and that's part of it, because people don't understand the technical part's kind of annoying.
Yes.
Even
Yes, it
doing
is.
this, it's
Yes,
annoying.
Absolutely.
But it has to be done. It has to be done, right?
I mean, we do pre-record some of our interviews and stuff. Like, we're not always blessed to be able to do interviews live. So, we do deal with technical difficulties. And
Of
when they
course.
happen, they happen. But you deal with it as it comes.
Oh, it happened when you interviewed me that one time.
Yep.
You were like, this ain't gonna happen. This thing ain't cooperating. It happens. It happens. That's a fact.
And then you edit.
Yes. And edit. Shout out to Don, my editor, because God
Shout out
bless
to
him.
me and Rapz, because we edit.
Oh, gosh. I hate editing photos when I have to take them. So video, it's like clipping, cutting, and this and that, and got to take that out. I watched it so many times. I'm like, no. Nope. I'll take the video, but someone else who likes to do it can do the editing.
Facts.
Oh, man. So what are some of the conversations you have when it comes to the records played?
That's for Rapz, because like I said, when it comes to music, that's his
Yeah, that's
area,
his
and I let him
zone.
go.
Go for it.
Honestly, I'm just checking for like whatever's hot. Like, not that like, if it's something you could hear on like, I don't know if they like to even play, but like if it's something you could hear on another radio station being played like 15 times a day, like that's not what we're playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for what's dope for real, and like it's not like how she said, like we gotten a little more restricted with like not even only who's coming on, but like who's getting played. So it's not about like, like we're playing artists from Philly. We're playing artists from, you know what I mean? But these may not even be artists you're going to hear or come across on the radio. But it's like, as long as it's dope music, it's going in the mix.
And that's a testament, because you have to, in a way, and you said this off camera, when you started it, it came from wanting to help local people.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not your audience.
No, not at
It's
all.
not. And, like people say to me, oh, well, there's only so many people you can have conversations with. That's not true. Because I look at it like this. When you talk about, like, people say, who are the best 5 artists in the 845, right? I can only name artists from Newburgh. That's not answering the question properly. I don't know all the artists in Poughkeepsie. I don't know the ones in Middletown. I don't know any of them in Rockland. I don't know ones in Monticello, Monroe. So it's real hard to stay within that confinement. So when you're able to find artists in other cities, in other towns, now it's kind of like, oh, well, who's that guy? They want to hear more of that. And that's what can help you also be different, because you're not playing the same thing everyone else is playing. Yeah. Same thing. Like when I was working at Nabisco, I would play Hot 97, right? They would play the same 6 songs. At that time, it was a her song. No, the On My Mama song. What's her name who sings that? Oh, my gosh. Victoria something, I think.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know that song.
That
it was
song,
going crazy.
First Person Shooter. There was like 6 songs. I'm like, dang, y'all play anything else? Like, give me something to work with here. If you have a guest for the evening, what are some things that have to be done differently to prepare for the show?
A ton of research.
I know that.
That's mostly it. I mean, we're trying to dig into these artists so that we can make sure that we're asking questions that are different from other platforms that are interviewing them. We don't want to ask, obviously you have to do some background questions so that our listeners who are not going to do the research on their own can get familiar with the artist. But we don't want to ask the same questions that every other platform is asking. We do want to be a little bit different, but we also try to make it a safe space for artists. So we're not into like gotcha journalism. We're not going to ask scandalous questions. That's never been my thing. And I don't want it to be that, you could go on TMZ for that.
Right. They're going to give you that scandalous shit.
Yeah. I want artists to be able to come in the field and feel like they could come here and tell their story in a safe space and open up in a way that they can't on other platforms. And I've always been able to provide that. And one thing artists always say when they come on our show is, I love your energy. And so I want them to be able to continue to come on our show and say that. But other than that, it's mostly just, we want like Nardwuar level research on artists. I might not go to your best friend and ask them like, what's your favorite spot to go eat at before you come on the show, because I want to ask you that question.
Right.
But, I definitely want to hit artists with some different questions.
Absolutely. Rapz, what you got to add to that?
What was the question again? Like I said, I'll just be watching her go off. I'm like, yeah, it's.
How do you prepare for a show if you have a guest for the evening?
If we got a guest coming on, then a big one is like the research, but like also your style. Like you can't just ask like, where'd you get your rap name and how long have you been wanting to do music? Like, you know what I mean? We're asking you for real questions like that. And you got to put it in your style too. It's like comedy. Like, yeah, there's things that are funny, but like, you got to make it your kind of funny.
Right.
Because like the brain could put this and punchline together, but it's honestly how you give it up, how you dress it up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's big, Research is important. Researching. Like sometimes I'll be researching and they'll be like, damn, you found that? I'm like, well, that's part of the job is to find it.
For
Like,
sure.
and I say, if you put it out there, obviously you wanted people to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to take a second and talk about the awards you will be receiving.
We're nominated for.
Or nominating. See, I'm manifesting. See, manifesting. See, I believe that you're going to win.
I mean, I believe that too.
So, I'm manifesting that. I do that for others, but then I'll be like, I'm trying. Instead of saying I'm doing. People be like, you're right. But it's hard manifesting for me. Hard manifesting for me. So, I want to talk about the awards that you're nominated for, but I feel you will receive. What an honor it is to be nominated for these awards. So what is the date of the show and where is it located?
November 11th is the award show, and it's in St. Louis.
You going down?
I'm going to try to make it out there for sure.
Oh,
I want to
man.
be there live and in person to accept my award.
See, there you go. Manifestation. That is the word of the year, everyone. I've been saying it. Manifestation. Hell, might even be the word of next year, too.
Absolutely.
So I want to start with supporter of the year.
So that one took me by surprise.
So when they say supporter, what do they mean? What do they mean exactly?
To be honest, I'm not sure because I haven't even be able. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't dived into this yet because when I saw this,
Right.
it was because I got tagged in a post. So yeah, Tweezy, I haven't talked to Tweezy. Shout out to him from the Village Global Network. That's where we're syndicated.
Right.
So we air every Monday on WVKR. Shout out to them. And then on the same episode airs the following week. So it's like the week behind schedule type thing on 8 a.m. on Monday on the Village Global Network. So we're syndicated on internet radio. And we reach over 190 countries on the Village Global Network. And so that's how I met Tweezy through the Village Global Network, and it's through his platform that he's doing this award show that the show is nominated for Podcast of the Year, and then I'm nominated for Supporter of the Year. And that took me completely by surprise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me that just means you
Global, not local. Outside the area, name
you-
is ringing bells.
You're definitely you've earned to me it's like when Birdman walked into
Hot 97 or
Breakfast Club. Put some respect on my name. That means people are watching.
Yeah.
Even when you don't think they're watching, they're watching.
Yeah.
Supporter of the year. And this is a global thing. It's not like it's a local thing. These podcasts are from all over wherever they're from.
All over the country.
Yeah, they're, they could be from Texas, Washington, Maine, for all we know, you know? And that just shows also not only that you're doing your due diligence for you, but you're doing your due diligence for others.
Yeah.
Supporting. Support. And that's the truth. So then, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but so how did you get into the running for this award of Podcast of the Year?
I have no idea because, and I guess I don't slow down enough
Yeah.
to take the time to even like see the outside impact that myself or the show makes. I'm just out there.
You're just doing it.
Yeah, doing it. I'm in it. So I don't see it from an outside view because I'm inside of it. So sometimes when I see this stuff, it helps me see it from an outside view.
That's an interesting take, and not a bad one at all. Like that's because it's weird. Like you take that perspective from people, right?
Yeah.
Like certain things when you're in it, like I'll use myself. I don't see myself manifesting the way others do,
Yeah.
right? So people are like, you're doing great. I see you, but I don't see it because I'm in it.
Yeah.
But whereas I could see you manifesting and doing everything that
But
you're
I'm doing it from a day to day.
Right.
So I don't see, I'm like, man, like someone in St. Louis is recognizing the hard work that I put in, but I don't always recognize it because I'm inside of it. And that's how I felt when I saw it come across the feed. I was like, man, like shout out to Tweezy because it makes you feel like, okay, this is all worth it. I can keep going.
Yeah, you got to keep striving and keep pushing and pushing, because you're only going to get better. It's only up from here, because that's an honor.
Yeah.
That's an honor.
Yeah.
Like, and hey, listen, I manifested a victory, but hey, even if it doesn't come, you've made it.
That's
To
why
me.
I said shout out to Tweezy because to be nominated for something in St. Louis, we got recognized. The show got nominated for a Chrono Grammy
Okay.
here, and Moochie gave me an award for in
remember.
media. Have not been recognized for anything else in the area.
So you got what was the first one you said? Before Moochie?
The Chrono Grammys, which
Okay.
is through Chronogram, one of the magazines that is local. But aside from anything else, never been recognized. And there's nobody else doing it on the level that we're doing it. Like
Right.
I don't run into anybody in any of the rooms that I'm in. So and that's why I don't see, this is going to sound cocky and that's okay, but I don't base in the field radio. Like I don't see other people as competition for in the field radio because like when I'm in these rooms, in the field radio is next to TMZ and Complex and The Source and those types of outlets. So the only competition that I see for us is us.
Right. Well, and before I prepped this interview, I went back to both of the previous interviews to kind of just get a basis. And one of the things you said in yours was that you do this for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. Many people do this for the wrong reasons. And when you do it for the right reasons and you put forth the consistency, and it's not just you want money. Of course, everyone wants to be paid for what they're doing, right?
Of course.
That goes without saying, but you're doing it because you love to do it. You love covering music. You love talking. You love being on the radio. And those things have showed and gotten you to where you needed to go, And a lot of people, some people see it. Don't let them fool you. Just because they're not recognizing
I see the views. I don't see the likes, but I see the views. So
just because they're not recognizing it, it's happening.
yeah.
It's happening, And then that's how I look at it. I don't care if 12 people watch.
Yeah.
That's 12 people who've seen it.
Yeah.
And if one of those is someone who never seen it before, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Absolutely.
Rapz, what are your emotions and feelings through this process of, these awards and things? I know you're just coming into the fold, but I know you got to have some kind of opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, the show's still new to me, but like obviously even getting like nominated for an award for the show that I'm new on is a new thing. So
Right.
I think it's dope. Like the same thing, like I didn't get like notified any other way than like somebody sharing it and me seeing it on Facebook or something like that. And I was like, wait, what?
Like, wait, when did this happen?
Yeah.
You're
But
like,
I instantly sent it to her, and I was like, yo, you know about this?
and she's like, wait, what? And that's, but you know what? Sometimes the element of surprise can be a good thing. That can be. So, have you guys listened to any of the other shows that are nominated?
Nah, I haven't. I'll be honest, no.
You know, I mean, just to kind of, not to so much, you said you don't see anyone as competition, but I would be interested just to kind of just hear what they're about, just be like, So, oh, hold on. The daggone thing went crazy, and I lost my spot. God bless you. What would winning the award mean to you?
Everything. It would be the first award. It's like taking home a Grammy, like at this level. You know what I mean? Like the first one always hits hard. You know what I mean?
It's different.
Yeah.
Then after that, it just becomes okay.
No,
not
I mean,
okay, but
easy
like,
now.
I don't mean it to sound like standoffish, but the first one that you win, it's like winning a first championship.
Yeah.
Or your first time going platinum, or But then after that, you've done it, but it don't feel the same.
Yes.
Once you get to 20 awards, then it's like okay.
Yeah, I'm not showing up anymore to the awards show after 20.
Yeah, I'm good. What about you, Rapz?
I mean, again, it's just another dope accolade. Like, you know what I mean? I could throw that in the resume, and
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, just can, It's all one long stretch. Like, even that is like, a pit stop. That's a milestone. That's a moment. But like, I still got distance to go. So.
Well, it's a starting point.
Yeah.
Like, even though you've been doing this so long, you're coming into the fold. It's another chapter. And even if your name isn't called, now you know that you're being watched, and you'll be able to get into there. Eventually, you got to win it. Eventually, like I tell people that with football all the time. So eventually the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens have to win the Super Bowl. Like someone who has to beat the Chiefs at some point. People are like, no. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know. But what I do know is that we can do more than we think. That's for sure. Rapz, how was your background in DJing helped contribute to crossing over into radio?
I think part of it is just like being comfortable on the mic, but like aside from that, just I probably say I've been DJing and doing something along the lines of a form of broadcasting for the same amount of time. So I feel like they've kind of like ran concurrently, and like I just feel like they kind of go hand in hand at this point. Like if you like my music taste, that one thing alone would be a reason why you would tap into both things that I do. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So like, yeah, I just thought it was right there. Like, it just makes sense to me.
So when you're creating the sets for the show, how does that differentiate from when you create sets for an event, any event?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Like what I play on the radio may not be what I'll play in the club, because it might be a little on the slower side, or it may be a little something that's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it, but like if I'm going to the club, I'm going specifically to make y'all dance.
Right.
So what I play on the radio might not be making you dance, but you still might have a good time if you tune into us for an hour. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Because, when you go to a wedding or, a club or whatever, I know you have to appease to like an audience. And what I mean when I say that is you have to kind of sometimes feel the room before like they'll give you a list, like we like these songs, but even still, you wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't see what the crowd was doing, So how do you, now with the radio, do you feel you have more freedom with that? Because you're not really having to feel a room. You kind of just put the set together and you know.
Yeah, I mean, the music will be like something hot that people know, but it's just like a lot of like, if you just like dope music, if you're a hip hop head and you don't mind finding new things that are cool. Because there's a lot of people that are like, yo, anything new is whack. Like, that's not the case. Like, I'm doing the digging for you.
Right.
And that's kind of like, you don't got to show up and dig through crates no more to find the one record that might sound good when you bring it home. Like, I'm doing the digging for you, even if
Right.
it's, through DSPs or anything like that.
Absolutely. And, I don't think everything new is whack. Not everything. A lot of it, yes. Yes. A lot of it, yeah. Like when you're talking about the drill rapping, some of it's okay, but some of it's just like, bro, we need plumbers. We need electricians. We need people to landscape. But then when you have people like, and usually we play honest picks. But I didn't put that together because for you guys, I put together another segment in my head that we're going to get into before I get back to the interview.
Okay.
So as we know, like this year has been the year or since 2020, since King's disease, in my opinion, Nas has showed that rappers can be older and still put together very good music. So there's a couple projects specifically that I want to just give you guys give a review on if you've listened to them. I'm going to start with the clips.
Love it.
What is your thought? Now, I'll let you start. What is your thought on the clips coming back together? And what were your thoughts on their album?
I loved it. And I thought it created a lot of disruption, especially with the rollout. They had the tiny desk. I thought that was perfect. I think artists should definitely don't just look at the product, look at rollouts. And don't copy, because you can't recreate what a major artist does with a ton of money at a small independent level. But you can take notes from it, and you can see content wise what they're doing, and you can kind of recreate some of that in your own rollouts. And I think that's important for people to look at. I thought the rollout was amazing. I thought the Tiny Desk concert, that gave me life. The album, I thought it was great. And I thought there was some clip slander on my timeline. I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, like
at all. Like, I don't know if they listened to the same album that I did. I don't know what happened, but I thought it was great. I thought there was, leading up to it, there was conversations that I was having with people about real hip hop making a comeback. And I feel like it's happening. I feel a shift happening. And I feel like that's a great thing. I feel like you said, older rappers are having a moment. I feel like that's a great thing. Like Wu-Tang just sold out Madison Square Garden. It was their first time in their career headlining at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
That's their city. That's where they're from. It's their first time headlining at Madison Square Garden. I don't think people understand like how
big of a deal
that is.
That's
how big
huge.
that is for them. So I think you're going to start to see some of those types of things, like the pendulum swing back the other way, and I think that's a great thing for hip hop.
What were your thoughts on the Clips album and your review?
I think it was a dope album, man. I mean, obviously it's something we missed, but it does very much give you back, like, just quality hip hop, more mature hip hop, more, grown, more enunciated on the words that you're hearing, people that are putting their time in to create these words, and that their work matters to them. So it's like, you could always appreciate that because, they took this seriously. This wasn't, a drunken night in the studio for 16 tracks.
Absolutely. I want to add to it that I wasn't worried about Pusha T at all. I was more ready to listen to Malice.
Oh, yeah.
Because we hadn't heard him in so long at that level. Like, they haven't dropped an album since 2009. 16 years without an album. They had some verses here and there, but Malice was doing some other things. And even if you watch the interviews, a lot of the questions are directed to him because he's been the one missing.
Yeah, so he's the only one you haven't heard from.
Right.
Yeah.
We know what Pusha brings to the table. We know what he brings to the table. So I would say that Clips, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10.
There you go.
For sure. A 9 out of 10. Next album I wanted to talk about was, have you guys listened to the Slick Rick album that came out this year?
I listened to a little bit of it, but can I just say that Wu-Tang brought Slick Rick out the other night?
Oh.
And that was my first time seeing Slick Rick. I lost my mind.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully he brought it better than when I seen him at the 50 Years of Hip Hop concert.
Oh, he sounded like, vintage Slick Rick came out sounding like he was in his prime.
Man, because when I seen him there, he was doing the songs, and then he messed up when he got to Children's Story.
Aw.
They sped it up to where he couldn't keep up with the
no.
words. So the beat was all off because, like as a hip hop head, when the words and the cadence and it wasn't matching. My wife's like, it didn't sound bad. I'm like, no. Go back and listen to the original song.
Yeah.
They changed it during performances, and then we played it in the car. She goes, oh, that was bad.
Yeah. And the thing I love about Slick Rick too is he comes out with the eye patch. It's designer. He's got the giant chain on, the giant bracelet. I just love to see that.
Like it's still the 80s.
Yes, it's so gaudy and amazing. I'll bring that back, please.
Oh man, did you check out his album this year?
I listened to a little bit of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but what I heard, I enjoyed. It just sounded to me like classic Slick Rick, and it was not. It's not something that I had on my bingo card for 2025, and it's not something I was necessarily checking for. So it was something that I enjoyed in passing. Is it something that I would go back and listen to? Probably not. You know what I mean? And I also feel like I like what Nas is doing with the mass appeal drops.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what all of the albums do, and if there's replay value on them, because I think that's important too.
I do believe that. I think with Slick Rick's album, I think it was very good for someone who hasn't released an album in so long.
Yes.
He still had the rhymes. He's still doing the same thing.
Yep.
And he just made me feel like, damn, like hip hop, it still lives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing too, is I guess is some of these artists, they don't have to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool to see them doing it.
Absolutely. Did you get to check that one out yet, Rapz?
No, I really didn't dive too deep into it. To be honest, I might have just checked out whatever the singles were, and I think they shot a video for 2 of them, but that was really all I checked out. I kind of knew it wasn't going to be for me at this time. Love Children's Story, love, hey, young, yeah, all of that, but this is just... in 2025, I'm not trying to spin new Slick Rick. That's it.
All right, fair enough.
Respectfully.
Fair enough. Now, I know there's no way you haven't listened to the one.
I know exactly what you're going to say, and I haven't listened yet.
Oh, come on. You're breaking my heart here. You haven't listened to the Raekwon album?
No, not yet.
Oh, how?
I haven't, because it came out yesterday.
How? You listen.
You gave me a day?
Listen, this isn't like a TV show where you ruin it.
Listen. Can I just say, and I'm not going to stop talking about this. I have this on my list of things to talk about for the show. Raekwon came out in the Gucci apron. And I feel like now I need a Gucci apron. I don't want to make dinner if it's not in a Gucci apron. I feel like that's the recipe to success when you're cooking dinner.
Oh, Gucci apron.
I've heard good things about the album. So I'm excited to hear it. I know I'm not going to be disappointed by it. I know Raekwon wouldn't do that to me in 2025.
No.
Especially on the heels of clips and stuff. So I have high hopes for the album.
I'll put it to you this way. It's an album of the year candidate.
That's what I keep hearing.
And the reason I brought up those 3 projects particularly is because Nas has a feature verse on all of them. And he's still...
Benny's on it too, right?
On Raekwon's, all of Griselda's on there.
Yeah, Griselda's on it.
The whole
and
all 3
Benny
of them.
just dropped.
Yeah, that was the next one. I just... Summertime 25. Woo!
It's scorching hot out here,
Yo.
outside and in hip-hop.
Yeah, I'm telling you, hip-hop is alive and well. But the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention... Well, not to your attention, to what you said was... With the mass appeal drops, did you know what Ghostface is calling his next album?
He just said it on stage the other night, and now I can't remember what he said. And that's coming soon too.
Yeah, but his arguably best album, it's part 2,
Supreme Clientele.
And I'm like, bro, that's risky.
And it's coming when? It's dropping soon.
I think so.
He said soon.
I didn't see a date.
He said the date too. He did say the date the other night on stage.
Did he?
But by the time that he started talking, it was like the end of the night, and I was fried, and there was too much other things going on. And
Well, what are you guys' opinion on artists doing that? And what I mean when I say that is, okay, Supreme Clientele dropped in 2000. 25 years later, you're making part 2. You know, I've never been the biggest fan of that personally. Like, I looked at
like a series.
Well, no, like take the Carter. The Carter was okay because
I was just gonna refer to the Carter. So good.
Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 were flawless and they were kind of close together. 5 was like
It's not
5
good.
was not good.
It's not good.
6,
Less good than that.
I actually like 6 more than 5.
Yeah,
But it just wasn't.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like you could stop after 4. The other one is Marshall Mathers LP. Years later, he did the Marshall Mathers LP too. I'm like, I don't know if you should.
Artists do things for a reason, and they do things that are for a reason that is personal to them. And I don't have a problem with what you name your album,
Right.
like, because it doesn't. To me, it doesn't take anything away from the first one. If you love Supreme Clientele and Supreme Clientele 2 comes out and it's ass, then it's ass, and I don't have to listen to it.
It's true.
But if it means that much to you to name it that, then cool.
Okay. Raps.
And I feel like a lot of people do that solely for the fact that, like, this is going to divert attention to the original piece. So it doesn't have to sound anything like it. This is just my scheme to make sure I could run up my streams and maybe get some shows from people that ain't called me in years. And you know what I mean? Not saying that nobody in particular is doing that, but, like, that's definitely a game plan.
From a business
yeah,
standpoint.
for sure.
It makes sense. Because but sometimes the artist does enough to call it that. Like Purple Haze 2.
And it continues on that series, and like he says, it like brings it, like, that was my most famous album. Now I have number 2. You're looking at number 1 again. And that brings attention to it to another generation now too. Like you said, it's coming 25 years later.
Absolutely.
Somebody might tap into 2 that never heard 1.
Okay, that makes sense. That's another way. See, I never thought to look at it that way. That's why we have these conversations. So I want to know, before I close out this segment, is I want both of you to name your top 5 all-time rappers.
DMX 1 through 5. No.
DMX 1 through 5.
No.
Rest
no.
in peace.
Like, it's just, so this is just like personal?
Personal. There's no your personal top 5.
Man, I've never had to do this. I don't want to do it. Now I know how people feel when they come on my show. But I make them do like their top 5 like Hudson Valley rappers and stuff, and now I know what I'm doing to people, and it's messed up.
Oh, is that a suggestion? You want to do that after?
No, I don't.
She said no.
I don't. You should send that clip to me though. I want to post that.
We can make that happen.
I would say, like, who do I listen to the most? I feel like this is gonna be like an eclectic mix. I kind of want to get my phone and look at it because I listen to definitely DMX all the time. Can I put Wu-Tang as 1?
Sure.
Because I don't want to split them up. It's too
All
many.
right.
Too many of them. I listen to DMX. I listen to Wu-Tang. I listen to who else? It's so many. Probably Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Oh man, I gotta only pick like 2 more.
Yeah, you did 3.
I know. That's why I had to put Wu-Tang as 1. Otherwise, it's like, well, that's 9.
That's just 9 out of 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like probably Biggie. I listen to him all the time. Now I gotta pick 1 more. Yikes. I don't want to. I'm struggling.
It's just stressful, huh?
That's why I feel like my blood pressure is going up.
You are turning a little red.
That's what, well, it is hot in here too.
Yeah, it is toasty. I try.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of like who's on my like top play of all time, and it's like.
Who's the last person you played in the car?
Actually, it was Clips.
There you go.
I've been listening to the Clips album since it dropped, but I guess they're not in my top 5. But we'll leave them there
For now.
Yeah.
What about you, Rapz?
I mean, I always feel like we got to distinguish, like, okay, you asking about the, like, my personal top 5.
Personal top
You know what I
5.
mean? Which isn't like who's the best or who sold more.
Personal.
Or who sold more tickets this week. You know what I mean? But if we're talking about just my personal top 5, like, some of my favorite artists are, like, Styles P for sure,
Okay.
Big Pun, I'd say, like, older Cam.
Okay.
I gotta say maybe like Hove's got to be in there. Nas is probably in there maybe right before Hove to me, my personal. And if we're going like an honorable mention of like somebody more new school, Gunna is an artist that definitely
Gunna's
grew
dope.
on me like crazy. You know, I've seen him live, all that. It's like that's a dope artist right there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like people be like, "Dang, like that's your." But for me, presently constructed, my top 5 personal all time in this order goes Nas, Pac, X, J. Cole, Jadakiss.
I like that our lists are all different.
Nowhere even close to the same.
Yeah, no.
You know, because people get mad. I don't know if either of you ever seen people come for me when I make my line, my feelings felt about Biggie. Because I don't even put him in the top 10.
Which, I mean, it's personal preference at the end of the day. Like I listen to Biggie like probably daily.
Yeah.
I listen to X daily. Well, unless I'm not feeling aggressive, then I would be like, oh, okay, next. But like, it's a personal preference. Like I don't listen to Pac.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not that I don't love Pac and I don't think he's a top 10 candidate, but personally, I listen to Biggie.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, I just feel like when it comes
I feel
to
like a
Biggie,
traitor if I listen to Pac. No, I'm playing. Nah, I just, you know what I mean? I just grew up on some East Coast, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was. You know, Bad Boy was everything. Now, not so much.
we can see why he was called Bad Boy.
You know, but yeah.
No Diddy in here. No, not no diddler. No. We don't want that at all. So Rapz, in totality, with you coming over, starting to be on the show, how are you feeling personally that it's going so far?
I think everything's going good. It's going smooth. You know, some of the bigger problems are like the smaller things. You know what I mean? Like paying attention to that clock and knowing when our hour's about to be up. You know what I mean? Knowing when we're at the halfway mark and we got to get to some music or something like that. Like that's really the trouble we face.
Oh, it's learning about timing.
Yeah, because then we start scrambling. Like we looking at our list. Like, all right, what could go without being mentioned?
Right.
And then it's like, you know what I mean? We might have had a dope conversation about something that maybe we didn't want to prioritize just because the clock was ticking.
Right. And sometimes what ends up happening too, and it even happens with me doing this, is you get on a question and then it takes you somewhere else. And then like you come back and you look, 15 minutes is gone. And now you're like, and you know, it's definitely harder if you're doing it in real time, you know, because it's like, shit, well, what are we taking out? You have to talk without talking. Yeah, that's the thing. Talk without talking. So I believe, and I see that you guys have great chemistry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What would you say, and you kind of mentioned this, but what would you say is the main testament to that chemistry? I have questions for both of you. What would you say?
The numbers, I've seen them jump. Podcast, because I watch the numbers, the metrics on the podcast platform side of it. I've seen them go up. I could see it across social media. And I just think, like, personally, I feel like we have a much better product. I agree. Like I said, I knew it was something that I wanted to do for sure. Like, it was never a question in my mind. So I'm glad that the results are translating.
Yeah. I mean, the chemistry really is like, it's just natural. Like, it's not something that we even work on. You know, it's just like, yeah, we pull up. Like, she's like a calm person, but like knowledgeable about whatever topics we're about to touch.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Could speak to the music as well. Like, and again, like I mentioned before, we both do things outside of this radio show.
Right.
I might do something media-wise that's not a part of this show. She might go do an interview that's not a part of this show, and that's just like,
Absolutely.
you know, we just both work. She's working with artists. She's in studios. She's at release events. She knows about things because she's she's physically keeping her ear to the street.
Absolutely.
Still, you know what I mean? And I'm doing the same, but in
Makes
a
sense.
different way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So earlier you said that you don't see anyone out there as competition. One of the things you did say when you forgot that you requested this interview on Instagram Live, she had more shit to talk. So I'm going to utilize that as you to talk your shit. Why is that you see that? What makes you feel and know that? And it kind of is a testament to what he just said, is that your ears to the street. Because from what I'm seeing is you're in a lot of locations that I ain't seeing no one else there.
And that's it. The end, period. I don't really run into anybody else in those locations. So if people were operating at the level that I am, I would. And it's that plain and simple. And not to say that I don't see other people working from the area, and I see some artists doing their things, and shout out to them. Shout out to the people that are doing it, and I watch and I see everything. And I don't take anything away from what people are doing, and I hope I meet everyone at the top. Like, I'm not a hater, and I support everybody.
Absolutely.
And anybody that want to submit to come on the show or submit their music, like, if you got it and we like it, and we'll air it, and you can come on and sit down with us or whatever. Not that people do, and that's fine. But that's why.
It's there for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, no, and it's always been there. But and that's the thing too, is that our audience has always been from outside the area. I see the numbers, like, even with the podcast downloads, like, our top cities are not
Around
local.
here.
We typically get one download from Poughkeepsie. It's me. You know what I mean? I'm subscribed to the podcast, so I know that it's me. We get a lot of international love. Like, we're big in Germany, Russia, Japan.
Okay.
Same thing with, like, outside the area, like Baltimore, big down south, that sort of thing. So, we go where we're wanted. The events that I get asked to cover happen to be in New York City. I don't get asked to cover events in the area. Same with Rapz. Like, he's not asked to cover events in the area and stuff. So, if we were, we would go. Shout out to Crooner. Shout out to him and what he's got going on. Shout out to Ice the God and them, that whole team over there, because they definitely ask us to come through.
Absolutely.
You've had us. This is the second time that both of us have been on the show.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Moochie and what she's got going on. Like I said, she's definitely had me come through and given me an award for being in media and stuff. So, the support that we do get, we like to reciprocate.
Absolutely.
And we are thankful for. But other than that, we've had to seek it outside the area, which is unfortunate.
Well, like I said earlier, I think I said it, or maybe you said it. Sometimes your home audience isn't your target,
And that's okay.
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with not having them be your target.
Yeah, it wasn't the original goal, but sometimes you have to shift the goalpost, and that's okay.
Because you're gonna get to wherever it is you want to go. Where that is, I want to ask that shortly. Oh, it's because it's the next question. What are some of the goals that you see in the near future, and what do you want to accomplish for In the Field Radio next?
I would like To be honest, I would like to see In the Field get picked up by like satellite radio.
Gives you a lot more freedom.
I was gonna say I want to curse. I want to say some wild things. I have some great stories that I would like to share with people that the FCC restricts. I would like to. I would like to be able to have a team at some point because it's a lot of work for him and I. That would be fantastic. I think, to be honest, like for the rest of this year, at the very least, I would like for us to just continue to work on what we're doing and build a dynamic and just get comfortable and like see where we're headed. I don't have any like lofty goals for this year,
Right?
Just because it's so new still. Other than the ones I just named, the award show, like we got nominated for award, want to head to St. Louis and accept that award, manifestation.
That's it, manifestation. That's what we're about here.
Just keep scheduling dope interviews. We've had some really big ones this year. Definitely go check those out on the podcast platforms. Eddie Will, Son of Sandy, Bull Power.
I'll be back
who
on the
else?
show too.
Yeah, yes. Like who else have we had this year? I don't remember. That's bad. I feel like, and I don't think I had too many, or if I had any before you came on. But we got some other ones in the pike that are pretty dope. So just stay tuned for that.
Listen. That's what's up. Go ahead, Rapz. What do you see? What are your thoughts on the future for In the Field Radio?
I mean, just obviously growing it, whatever. Like, I think at this point, like, we got the show. The show's been there. It's been running for years. They've added me. I'm something new to it. What I bring musically is something new to it. So I think at this point, it's like we got what we're working on, and I think we're both comfortable with it. Now I think, like, we got to work on other things that might, like, bring more attention to it. Like, I just want it to grow, you know what I mean? But I think the show is right where it needs to be. So, even us doing our own thing, it's like it all eventually adds back to this too. So
Exactly. It all comes full circle. And the one thing I wanted to touch on that you said is having a team. Let me tell you, I've learned very quickly doing this how important that is. Because you want to find people also that don't have ulterior motives. Like they want to be part of the team, work as a unit, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and people don't understand how much you really have to put into it. Kind of sidebar here. Right now, we're trying to figure out some things behind the scenes with doing this. Problem is, all the people who are a part of the team or the network don't want to put in the same amount. Now, I ain't tooting my own horn, but I bust my fucking ass to do all this. Like on top of,
yeah.
So I just want to say, find that team and hold on to them like glue.
Yeah. And even finding a team, you're gonna run through like all sorts of phases of like, this is my team. This person could do this. He knows how to do this. He's lazy. He's not gonna do this. You know what I mean? You might just be like, yo, this is my peoples, and they decent with it. Like, you're gonna go through all sorts of phases, times where you're like, I don't even need a team because I could do this. Like right now, me and her, like the way we're moving around, like there's no team. Right. It's me, it's her, and it's the radio station. Yeah. And we're a collective at that point.
Right.
But like, there's no team of like, nobody's like filming us. Nobody's, setting up and messing with the boards for us or.
That's all you.
Yeah, getting a location for us. Like that's not. None of those are like, we make it happen.
And it takes time and a lot of effort. A lot of long nights. You would mention you haven't been sleeping. So
48 hours straight.
Yeah.
With just like a series of naps.
That's not sleep.
But no, it's not. But you know what? I'm blessed to have the things I did in those 48 hours. I'm blessed to have been a part of. So you won't hear me complain.
Oh, where it's not like you're not sleeping because you're like stressed.
Oh no. No, I'm not sleeping because I'm in places that if you had told 10-year-old me, I would have never even believed it. So I can't complain.
Seeing Wu-Tang, that's elite company. That's elite company.
And that was the best show I've ever been to.
Really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've been to some good shows, but when I went to the 50 hip hop concert in Yankee Stadium, I was cool because they had different sets. I was ready to kill my wife that night. She made me leave before Nas came out.
Oh no.
He was my all-time favorite rapper in
No.
life.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw Nas at New Paltz College.
Wow.
At SUNY New Paltz, and I was literally like from here to the camera away from him, and
Wow.
it was free.
I wish I would have known that.
Yeah, they used to do hip hop shows every summer at SUNY New Paltz. They don't do it anymore, but I saw Immortal Technique there. I saw Nas. I saw who else? I've seen a bunch of dope free shows there.
He said he was right there. I'd have been like, nah, I'm going there. I got to meet you.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, but I remember they had Ghostface Killer there. So what they did was they had like a section for like all the older artists. Like, like Slick Rick was there. Melly Mel was there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, then...
Throwback.
Yeah, like really throwback. Then they had like a DJ set for old school DJs. Then they had a female set. And then they had like a generic set. So like, actually, yeah, after the DJs was the generic set. So like Cameron was in there. T.I. was in there. Havoc was in there. Ghostface Killer was in there. So I remember we were on the end and Ghostface was out there. And then Method Man came out. I almost fell down the stairs because I fucking love Method Man. He is so dope.
He lifted his shirt and it was over for you.
Nah, not that way. I just love his rhymes. Nah, I'm good on that. And he kept his shirt on.
Oh, he lifted his shirt the other night, and I thought MSG was gonna come down. Those girls were not playing.
Oh, they love them some Method Man. And then I said to my wife, I'm like, this is bullshit. KRS-One ain't here.
That's who I saw him at SUNY New Paltz.
Jeez. And as soon as I said that, the lights turned white, and then like when the lights went down, he was just there. I swear he was just there. And then she was like, did you just speak it into existence?
From your lips to God's ears.
That's it. Then they had like a female set, and the female set had, I remember Trina. I forget the other two offhand. But when Lil' Kim came out, they were doing All About the Benjamins, and she came out the floor. I thought the whole building was going to go down. Like, Jesus Christ.
She did her little dance.
Yeah. Snoop was there, Ice Cube. But yeah, Nas was the second to last act.
Yo, when I saw Ice Cube out in California, I saw him in San Diego, and it got shot up. And
Of course it did.
it was like an active shooter situation. It was like unbelievable. And
God.
it was at the Del Mar racetrack. You can actually like find it on YouTube because it happened during one of the races. And the announcer was like you can hear the gunshots in the race. It happened during the last race. And then the announcer, like, I forget what he says. And then they like cut out.
Wow.
And the cops shot him. And it was like this whole thing. It was like surrounded. And like shout out to Ice Cube because like when an artist performs in their rider, there's like security issues and stuff. They don't have to perform. He still came out and did a full set.
Listen, this is West Coast.
When today isn't a good day.
Yo, he don't care. Listen, to Boys in the Hood, all those movies we seen, that's real life to him.
Yo, I was like, shout out to him for still coming out here because people were leaving. Everybody was like scared, and we were like, "We'll just wait it out." They haven't announced it yet that he's not coming. So in our mind, he's still coming. We'll just wait it out. And
That's
sure enough,
it.
he came out and performed the whole set.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, how would you define success?
What we're doing right now.
Chopping it up and doing
Like,
what we
yo,
do.
like I was just in the studio with one of my favorite rappers. Like I just went to Benny the Butcher's release party. I went to see Wu-Tang. Like, does it get better than this?
No, it doesn't.
I know a lot of people will say money and all that stuff, but that's not what success is to me. Like that will come. You know what I mean? I know that will come. I do get paid to do music industry stuff. And
Yeah.
so that is successful to me. I mean, I'm not driving a double R or any of that, but
Man,
That'll come later. We'll get there. But I feel every day like I'm successful in what I do. I feel like, and like Rapz said, like we're working on getting our rhythm down, and the show is already established, and we're going to work on things to grow the show and that sort of thing. But, we do things outside of the show, and we're doing it at a successful level. So, like, I feel like we're successful.
that's all that matters. Rapz, how do you define it?
Yeah, I mean, I know success is different for everybody. Like, obviously, that's why they say, like, you chase it. Like, you're making goals, and the minute you achieve them, now you got to set a bigger goal, so you're right back to chasing.
Right.
So, like, you know what I mean? As long as I'm, setting goals and reaching more milestones, like, that's good enough for me. Like,
And getting to just striving. When you showed that video, Benny the Butcher, I was waiting for someone to scream, "The Butcher coming, nigga!"
it was gonna be you.
Yo, hey,
Listen,
I wouldn't have even been mad if she did it.
Listen,
She ain't white.
I'm a
Don't let her
guest.
fool
I
you.
am a guest in the hip hop space, okay, and I act accordingly.
She ain't white. She's one of us. Don't let her fool you.
Yo, can I tell you when he walked past me? I was with Weathers. Shout out to D Weathers. And I looked at him and I said, "Okay, we could go now." And he was like, "Let's go inside."
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that's funny. So, couple things have changed when I end the show now. The first thing is now I have the guests tell the audience everything. Tell the audience something they don't know about them.
I ride horses. I feel like that's so like
No.
in contrast to what I
No.
do.
Yeah, it's definitely too. Yeah.
Look, see, you're befuddled.
Yeah, it's definitely two different sides of the spectrum.
There's sometimes when I smoke, I watch bug fights on YouTube. Right? But not like little small bugs. They could be, you know what I mean? One could be like a spider versus something a little dangerous, but more insecty. But
I'm adding that to my list of topics for the show on Monday. Just so you're aware. It's a pre-production for Monday.
let me explain. So it's like fast paced, like they speed up the video because obviously, like you ever seen like beta fish fight? They might fight for like a day before somebody dies. But like, listen, if you watch this, like it's crazy. They be tearing each other's like legs and wings off.
Oh my God.
It go crazy. It goes crazy. I mean, it's better than like watching humans fight, I think, maybe.
That's not what happens when I smoke. That is not the vibe that I go for. Can I just say that? Like, disclaimer.
It's like we're on two different spectrums with that.
I'm like, yo, what's popping on the Disney Channel? Like, is Aladdin on?
Aladdin, Toy Story. That's it.
Different version of Bug's Life. He's like, yo, it's the live action version.
The live. I want live and in person. So, another question I ask now is, if you had to choose one big goal to achieve, I know you're already saying you have success and everything, but what's one big goal that you both have that you want to achieve? Anything. Could be anything within the definement.
I want one of the rappers that I work with to blow so that I don't have to work a regular job.
Okay.
I don't care which one it is. Just one of them has to go. And then the other one can follow behind.
Well, sounds like those two need to come on the show as well.
One of them is in Houston, so he's not coming on the show in person.
Oh, we can do virtual.
Okay.
We can make it happen.
I was gonna say
We can do virtual.
And then
I do virtual episodes.
Yeah, I want that to happen. I want it to happen for them anyway, but I want it to happen for me so that I don't have to work.
What about you, Rapz?
I think for me, the past couple of years, I've been on it, and but I'd say a bigger goal for me is probably like touring DJ.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to be on the move more, just doing what it is that I do, but more places and on a bigger level. You know what I mean?
Even with you, what I've noticed is your work ethic locally. I be feeling bad because I just can't make more events. Just, father, Just always something.
Yeah.
You know? But I see, you know, like you'll be in Newburgh, then you'll be in Wappingers, then you'll be in Middletown, then you'll be in Kingston.
Yup.
You know, so even if you're not going to Miami yet and then going to Houston and into LA, you starting here.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to create that bandwidth. It's going to happen. Manifesting it. It's happening.
Exactly, 100%.
It's happening. So, both of you just give your handles, where they can find you if they want to come on to the show or listen to the show. Where can they find you guys at?
You could find me on Instagram and probably just about anything else. Your boy Rapz, that's YABOIRAPZ. And yeah, that's where you can catch me at. In a town near you.
So I have to do the In the Field radio ones.
At least he was honest.
In the Field radio everywhere. info@inthefieldradio.com. Do not send us garbage. Make sure it's mixed. I'm at Erin Boogie everywhere. And you can email me, erinboogie@gmail.com. And I think that's about it. We're on Monday nights on 91.3 FM WVKR at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the replay the following Monday at 8 a.m. on the Village Global Network. You can download the app on iOS and Android. And if you miss it in both places, you're shit out of luck for the music, but you can catch the good stuff, me and Rapz being funny, and the interviews on all podcast platforms.
And the last thing for this show is I have all the guests look into the camera and end with a positive ending message. It's just something positive and uplifting from you to the audience. Whoever wants to go first, go for it.
Listen, you ever see like when there's like a pigeon and they like on a statue? And you know they just be like shitting on the statue. Yeah. Like, yo, there's days where you gonna be the pigeon. There's some days where you gonna be the statue. Oh. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so.
I like that though. I like it.
Listen, I don't even have any words of affirmation or positivity to say today, so I'm gonna just plug the artists that I work with.
Okay.
So D Weathers and Foreign Dre, go find them. They're on all musical platforms. Just go check them out. Run up their stream so that I can retire, because that's positivity to me.
Oh, man. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on.
Thank you for having us again.
Of course, of course. You know, we'll have to have you back as always. You know, definitely always a vibe, for sure.
Can we make sure that we're like every season we check in?
You want every season?
Yeah.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And I also want to thank Mark's friends for allowing us to use their space. Thank the COC Network for this episode. And like I always say, be better than you were yesterday, but be prepared tomorrow to be better than you are today. Peace.
We out.